unjust firing of adjunct professors at East West University, y'all?
Hey, my name is Curtis Keys. I'm an adjunct faculty member at East West University. I've taught in the Department of Behavioral Social Sciences for 8 years under the scholarly leadership of Dr. Fareed Muhammad. I've loved teaching at East West University, but in context of being an adjunct part-time faculty member, the working conditions are almost absolutely at the bottom. So with that, I decided to organize the United Adjunct Faculty Association at the university. I founded the United Adjunct Faculty Association in 2009 to give the largest workforce a safe haven to voice their concerns and feelings about teaching at East West University. For example, in the spring quarter 2010, there were 54 adjunct faculty members in relations to 14 full-time. So therefore, when we look at the contributions, the over-reliance of the adjunct faculty, our voices definitely matter. And what we are seeking here is to be allowed to vote for union representation as relates to the largest workforce here at the university.
They getting low pay, so they leave. They'll come, do about 2-3 semesters, and then they leave. So if you gain a rapport with a professor, you may not see that professor again. You probably take one class with them and then you'll never see them again because the school refused to pay them what they deserve to get paid. This is your education. You would think that in this economy and in these times that you'll want the people who educate your children to get well compensated so they'll do their best work. And I feel as though they might as well go to the corporate side because teaching doesn't pay, or it's not worth it to teach, or they put me in an environment where none of these students want to learn because they made that just anybody comes. As long as you're willing to sign on the dotted line, guess what, you can come here. It shouldn't be that way when it comes to a university. This is like a high school that you pay for. It's turned into a high school that you pay for, basically, and it shouldn't be that way.
Someone got wind of the adjuncts forming a union. I used to work here as well as be a student, and I found that everyone was on pins and needles when it came to talking to administration. It seems like administration just had their way of doing things and they weren't going to defer to any suggestions that were made by the students as well as the adjuncts.
I cannot understand how the students at East West are getting any kind of decent education when the people at the very top are being this unjust. First of all, no teacher has any concept that they could be here more than one term. How can they plan ahead? I mean, good teaching requires teachers to plan ahead, not just daily, but from semester to semester. So that's one thing. I mean, also, the teachers here just feel like they're disposable, and that's exactly the message that the chancellor sent earlier in the summer by disposing of them all and saying, you know, you're no longer employed here. Then, when they went to apply for unemployment, they said, oh, you're still our personnel. So they're not acting square. And what is an educational institution to be but to be modeling justice, just behavior and activity? I mean, isn't the whole point is so people can study and work hard and pull themselves up and make society as a whole better, as opposed to just the old dog-eat-dog world?
As we prepare to organize to work to get enough people to support a union, we had to collect 30% of the workforce of the adjunct faculty to vote in support of a union with the IEA office, the Illinois Education Association. We were able to do that. Upon doing it, the chancellor of the university, Chancellor Khan, sent a letter to all faculty members, not only just the adjuncts, but the full-time department chairs. And that letter basically said that beginning the summer 2010, as well as the fall quarter 2010, no faculty member contract would be renewed without first having a one-on-one personal meeting with the chancellor. Now, obviously, that letter sent trepidation throughout the whole institution, especially among the adjuncts. And looking at the timing of the letter was sent during the time we were preparing students to take their final examination. So, since the letter, 8 adjunct faculty members have been either their classes were abrogated or they have been fired under very, very muddled, controversial standards. We met with Congressman Danny Davis, who is Board of Trustee member here at East West University.
We had a meeting with Danny Davis. Let's see, that was on Tuesday morning. It went fairly well, considering we, caught him at his office, and he was very receptive. He listened to the concerns of the adjuncts. There were about 5 of us there. He was very appreciative of the situation. He apparently had a history with organizing. I don't know that most people are aware of that, but he did share a little bit of that with us. And he also expressed some concern for the situation and did say that he would do something to intervene.
We went to actually see Danny Davis because he is a board member here at this university, and we wanted to talk to him to make sure that he knew exactly what was going on with the unfair firing of the adjuncts. Our purpose for going to see him was to gain his support, and if he wasn't aware, make him aware of it. And it turned out to be a very, very good meeting. He was not aware of the incident, he said, and he voiced his opinion that nothing could actually stop a movement of this sort.
Congressman Davis basically said that he supported our efforts and that he said that a union activity and the work behind union activity is hard to stop it. And he was right on that point. He emphasized that he has long been a champion of union protection, union rights. He himself was a union organizer. So he told us that he would get with the administration and see if he could intervene and render a quick solution to this very, very, very controversial new hiring practices that the institution has implemented.
Unjust firing of adjuncts.
The Labor Board has charged the university with an unfair labor practice, and so therefore we hope that they will meet the terms that we have set, and then we can avoid any more public disgrace as well as the costs that it could run among the students. One of the great things about East West University is it serves a need. It's a majority minority student population. 70% of the student body are African American, followed by Latino Americans, and a large portion of students from the Middle East, Africa, and so forth. So the university, again, serves a great need, but it has to treat the majority workforce, the adjunct faculty members, with respect and with the professional training that we bring to the institution.
It's important to get these folks back to work. They've gone the whole summer with no work, and this is what they do for a lot of people. This is their primary income, so it's going to be extremely important to get them back to work as soon as possible. And also, I would say once they get back to work, the conditions need to improve. They're working on organizing, and they want to have a union vote.
What we're hoping, of course, is that the university will rescind its new hiring practices, hire the adjunct faculty who were dismissed under very, very controversial circumstances, compensate those adjunct faculty members who had their classes abrogated for the summer session, and allow us to vote. Allow us to vote for a union, whether we want to have a vote in terms of we decide that we want a union or not. That is our right as citizens of this great country, and I hope that the university will abide by it.